you're back again.
Yeah, I wanted to make up for last week.
How do you like your vacation so far?
Man, I just bought a condo here.
Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This is the movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we do it in two parts. The first, an interview with an actor or someone involved that made the film worth watching, and the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Hope you enjoyed last week's interview with someone I grew up watching in so many different shows, whether it be like Different Strokes, she'd show up in small parts in The Burbs. I didn't watch her on Days of Our Lives, but that was her big role. And Speed 2 Cruise Control, she's played Roseanne so much. Patricia Darbo, what a blast. So cool, just her beginnings, that journey. She couldn't wait tables. She was terrible at it. So she's like this big time credit manager leading all these, the East for, the JBL speakers. She's the one who's in charge of all of that while she's pursuing this amazing acting career. So if you haven't heard that, be sure to tune in after this week's review of Speed 2 Cruise Control. This movie is on the sequel Hall of Fame, not for good things. So it's finally amazing. After 6 years, we're finally getting to it. But before we talk about sneaking in golf clubs, the fact that golf clubs are the thing that, Geiger uses for the entire movie, I can't talk about anything else more until I introduce you to my partner in this sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm okay, Doug. How are you doing?
Good. Do you remember this movie, like when this came out?
So, I remember the movie briefly. I don't remember it being this bad. This movie was terrible. And, it's making me look at Sandra Bullock in a different way because we did the Ocean's 13 with her, which was an awful movie, or 8, 13, same thing. Awful. And is she a good actress? I just feel like, I don't know now. These are two sequels we did with her and they're both awful. And let's be honest, she's annoying. She's annoying in this role.
She is really annoying. And she looks weird sometimes.
Oh.
I don't know if it was the makeup. Every time she was driving with Dorf, Dorf goes to driving school, every time her makeup looked crazy. When he saw her even the first time, he should have been nervous and he didn't even know she was a bad driver yet.
But she acts like a 13-year-old. She literally acts like a child, driving, she doesn't she you can't be taking a driving test and again trying to be serious with it, but the way she's doing it's nonchalant. She's breaking every single driving law and acting like it's normal. She's just I don't know, her character. I know in the first one she was briefly annoying, but now wasn't she in Demolition Man too?
She was in Demolition Man, as well,
and annoying, and she played the annoying girl in that one too. I feel like it's the same role for her in a lot of these movies when she first started, and they all weren't good. She just played that annoying, nonstop. You notice she yaps, she talks the entire time.
Well, that's her bit. She's almost in a sense, in the 90s, they used her the way movies can use Vince Vaughn in the last 25 years. We need somebody that can just talk so much, because even in the net, she does that same thing. She's just yapping with strangers. That's what she does in this movie. She's just yapping away.
But was that supposed to be entertaining? Because to me, first of all, this movie's a 2-hour movie, which is ridiculous. It should not be 2 hours, and if you cut out some of the musical scenes, because there's multiple musical videos in this movie, I don't know. I feel like this movie was trying to be more intense than it was. The music, they had that typical 80s action music that was but there was no intensity in this movie, because I think part of the problem is they try to make some humor out of it, a lot of the scenes. And, first of all, the humor was corny, but it's separated, where the action's going on, and then you have the humor part. It broke it up too much. If you watch some of these 80s action movies, you have the humor parts in the movie, but not during the action scenes. And I feel it just, I don't know. This movie just was not intense. The action wasn't great. Jason Patrick was barely in the the action at the end. Like he's it just I don't know. It was just all around just a stupid movie, and the characters are all annoying, like all of them. Like yeah, I don't know. All right, I mean I'm saying a lot, but it just
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. One thing, how many people die in this movie? Is it just the captain that we see die?
Well, I would assume based on the fact that no one noticed the ship on land at the end of the movie crashing into buildings, I would say a lot of people died. But you're talking about on the actual ship itself?
On the ship, was it just the dumb captain that stepped into that weapon that was anchored in that couldn't, light that couldn't move?
Wait, the weapon? You mean the light? It was a light.
I know, but I'm saying, but he kept swinging it and he kept like ducking back. Why did he get so close?
And why, like, it was a lamp. Like he was just moving a lamp around. You couldn't dodge a lamp. Like it was, but no, so he died, but then someone else fell overboard later on and they forgot about him. I wrote it down somewhere. There was someone else that fell overboard or fell out of the boat.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. When we saw, I thought it was the deaf girl's dad. No,
it wasn't.
But it was somebody else because the deaf girl's mom, I think, fell into that guy. Yeah, they forgot about him.
But they didn't go after him. Like he fell over. Oh, he's gone. Like really? Like he was like. I mean, like you could survive the fall. You're landing in water. Like they didn't even try to go after him. They're like, all right, he fell. He's done. Like it just ridiculous. Like it just. There's so much of this movie. Just. So I have one big question that kind of like this whole thing is, how long are they dating?
7 months.
So 7 months. He's already proposing to her. And based on what she's saying, they barely know each other. I mean, clearly.
Exactly. At all. No. She didn't know that. She thought he was a beach cop. Big difference.
Oh, huge difference. And you're going to tell me she's never gone back to the beach and wondered like where he is? Like, it's a beach.
And how did they meet? She got arrested for jaywalking. So something clumsy and dumb that she would do, run across traffic.
Do people get arrested for jaywalking?
Yeah, me and my friend did. We got handcuffed in Myrtle Beach.
But my guess is you were probably also drunk and being stupid, right? Like, if you go to the city,
according to the state of South Carolina, but
go to Manhattan. People are jaywalking nonstop.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think. I mean, like I don't know if you. Again, I don't know if you got arrested for jaywalking or probably public intoxication. Would probably be more. I would say
probably the latter had something to do with it, but no, just the fact that's how they met, like in this silly way. But when she said she didn't have any idea like what he really did, she's like asking for his badge number, which was kind of weird. Was there a way that if you got a badge number back in the day, you call up and be like, "No, here's this badge number. Can you tell me everything about them?" That can't be a thing.
So dumb. And so why was he a beach cop? Or was he undercover? Like, what was he?
He was probably undercover that day. And he was probably flirting with her.
But they don't explain that. They were just saying, like, he's a beach cop. And 7 months later, he's like this, which, again, the opening scene. So, we might as well jump into it. So the opening scene starts off, they're trying to show you this is an action movie, but why is he on a motorcycle? Like,
I don't know.
He's on a motorcycle and probably one of the most dangerous roads you possibly could have a motorcycle going 90 miles an hour, where there's already a blockade of cop cars blocking the road. So he doesn't have to go that fast chasing this ice cream truck because they're already blocking the road off. So they didn't really need him. Like if he wasn't chasing the truck, it still would have went to the same road.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Would have been stopped. So why does he have to be on a motorcycle? Like, and you see, like he's turning low to the ground. He's like, it's so ridiculous. Like, it's
and he
so
dumps
dumb.
the bike, and it's like, gee, dude, man.
And it's because of stolen computers. Like that full chase that basically could have killed him is, ridiculous. And you had the one cop saying, "All right, we do this the right way." Now, knowing that he's saying that, he probably does nothing the right way. If this is if this is like an 80s or like early 90s action movie, the main guy never does anything the right way.
Never.
So what makes him think like you wonder why they allow these cops to be on the force when they clearly never do anything the right way.
And you know what the crazy thing is? This is supposedly the same division that Keanu's character was in because it's the same captain from that movie.
Was he just a cop in the first movie? Like, was
No,
he?
he was part of what the Suicide Squad.
Oh, he
'Cause
was.
He was supposed to be with Jeff Daniels in them
Oh, it's right.
on that day.
Spoiler. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff Daniels blows up, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
When they go to Dennis Hopper's apartment. And that's the formula for these movies. The first one works, I think, because of the using one set. Like this set is a ship. There's a lot of different places that they're at. The first one works. You know what's wild? First one, 94, budget 26 million. What do you think the budget was for this movie?
Well, they really. I'm going to say less.
No,
okay.
not even close.
All right, so if for 20, let's say at least double, so 50 million.
125 to 150. It says the end scene alone with the ship crashing into the city, that whole last sequence cost 25 million, which is almost the first movie's budget.
Oh my! So how much money did this movie make?
That's a good question. I'll look that up.
Wait, you look up the budget and all that, and you don't look at how much it made?
No, I don't care about that.
Oh my! Well, I do because I want to see how much it lost. It better have lost money because the movie was awful. So, also, and again, Jason Patric's a good actor. I mean, he's done a lot of good movies, but a movie like this, like action like this, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was him or it was because he was paired.
Oh,
with
it broke
her.
even. It broke even.
Okay,
the movie made 164.5. It cost total to make and market 160.
Okay,
so that's not bad, right?
That's not bad. All right, so I don't think he does a terrible job. Again, I think it's because he's paired with her, and they have to have all these corny scenes together.
Just terrible. His dialogue, his line delivery in this to her, I think is their relationship. It's not believable. I think
no, it's not.
There's like no romance there. It's like Keanu and her just met on that day in the bus, and that was like, wow, they could be something. These two are just like, it doesn't match.
Well, that's what Keanu has this way about him, like that Point Break, I don't know, like he fits the role good. Like I just think Jason Patric, I think in a difference, if without her, I think he could have done better. But also why is he like? There's a scene where he's like running around with no shirt on. It's not like he's like a big dude. I mean, they're showing you that's part of the action scene. Like he has to do, like he just, there's certain things like I don't know. Like he was good in the movie Sleepers. He was good in the Lost Boys. He was good in that movie Rush about the undercover and he gets. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
But this, I don't know. I don't want to take it away from him because I think some of the action was good. I just think it was her. I think she ruined it. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I just think the formula of these movies, like obviously, like we just talked about, like a little spoiler if you haven't seen the original Speed, but like Dennis Hopper's like taking people out more, and it was so calculated because it was revenge, because he was a former cop. There was like more something involved. It was like, or he's stealing these diamonds and he's using this technology. Like there's just a lot of like, there's the whys.
No, and this technology is way too advanced, and his reasoning for doing it.
Wait. His Nintendo glove? Closed door. What is he typing? Closed door?
And he memorized all the location, like all the keypads on all the doors, and because I don't know much. I've never been on a cruise ship, so I could be wrong. But I don't know if there's like laptops stationed throughout the cruise ship. Like in this movie, there's laptops stationed all over the place. Yep. And there's an item in this movie which I'd be willing to bet if you take every single cruise ship that's out there right now, and it's probably tons, not one of them has a chainsaw.
I know.
Okay, I mean, it's like this whole movie's like so unbelievable. Like, I mean, there's really nothing like. But I think that was the most unbelievable thing, that there's a chainsaw laying around on a cruise ship.
Yeah. And the fact that she uses it, you're like, wow, she's kind of being a hero. And then she doesn't know how to not use it and pull it out of the wall.
And almost chop the guy's head off. And like, and no sparks. Like she was able to go right through the steel with no problem with the chain. Like it just, but the fact that it was laying around like, oh yeah, we were just using that yesterday. You know, like what are they using a chainsaw on a ship for? Like it's just so ridiculous. Okay. All right. So yeah. And you know, again, with the beginning scene when he's on the motorcycle, did you notice that at one point he did a wheelie?
Yes, I wrote, why would you do a wheelie?
Why is he doing a wheelie? Like again, showing that it's an action movie. You know, he's gonna do a wheel. Like it's just so stupid. Like Could
you imagine you dump your bike and then you have to go talk to the captain and be like, this whole mission was blown. This guy had 20 bombs in the back and he blew up like this, you know, the hospital downtown. Why did that happen? Oh, I was trying to pop a wheelie, trying to impress some chicks.
Well, I think it would be funnier if, like, you know, he's chasing the car, he does the wheelie, but he goes too high and he falls off and he dies.
It's over.
That's it. The wheelie did it. So, know, again, I think the movie tried way too hard to be an action movie, and like I said, the music was similar to like the Speed music. You know, like during Speed, you know, going, you know, the bus moving the entire time. The music was like fast moving. You know, you felt it. You felt the stress of going below 55, and like, you know. Here, like the music was playing the entire time of like, and it was almost like I felt like I was watching Titanic 2. Like the movie was more Titanic than anything else. You know,
and the speed of a boat versus like the 55 miles an hour in the bus, the tight turns, people crossing the street, red lights, all of that.
Yeah,
this you really just have for a while until we get to the oil tanker later. It's just the open thing. It's the open ocean.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like they're going fast.
There's no stress. There's no, and you know, you said it before. You're like, you know, Dennis Hopper, you know, he wasn't afraid to kill people, and the woman blew up, you know, when she was trying to escape from the bus, and she blew up, and that Jeff Daniels here, like you thought the bellboy he killed the bellboy, and he ends up he just put him in the closet.
Yeah.
Like there's like, again, like there's no scariness to this guy outside of killing the doctor with a lamp, you know, that he easily could have dodged. That was the only thing like he did really that was, you know, murder, you know, like he wasn't even a good, like he played crazy good because he always plays crazy, but like he wasn't a good, like bad guy. Like even at the end when he's taking,
oh my God, that was so lame.
There was no reason to take her though. Like she would only like, why? And especially, and then he's looking for her after she goes off on, let her go. Like you have the money, leave. Why was he still going
she
after
threw
her?
the bag. Remember when she threw the bag?
Yeah.
So then that was already over. Then he was probably just like, I want to kill her. But yeah, why would you take her? And then why would you not realize that she's only cuffed? Like she's not cuffed to anything. You should have cuffed her to like maybe like the handles.
So bad.
But the fact that she was able to just hit a button and it dumped his jet ski.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. All right. So.
But man. But real quick that you mentioned, just so don't forget, when that busboy, the stumbling busboy, when he walks in on Geiger's room, very creepy because Geiger goes, oh, I had my do not disturb on there. And he goes, oh, no, you didn't. It had flipped to come and tidy up. And he goes, they give him like this dirty look. And he's like, or maybe I flipped and I'm like, why would you flip it? If it says do not disturb, why did you have to go in there? Were you onto this guy? But he has computers sprawled out.
Oh, it's
like ridiculous. And that's like an evil thing. Like now, if somebody went to a hotel room, see a laptop, oh, this is normal. That it's like, whoa, dude, this is kind of wild.
And he had like multiple screens. Like, how did he get it all on there? Like he had like
in the golf bag. I guess in the golf bag, the magical golf bag.
The golf bag was down below. Remember, because he didn't have it. So but I mean, but also like they had to do the leeches thing. Like, how dumb is that?
Oh, that was dumb too.
Like, so he has what, copper in him, or he has some kind of again, the reason behind everything, and the fact that he's dying because he was surrounded by magnetic, like just so like they really like went so like it would have been better if he was from a pharmaceutical company or something, or you know, like that he got test. I don't know, like he got copper in him. Like just so stupid, so stupid.
They could have almost done like a Die Hard 3-ish with this, if Keanu came back, you could always have the same vehicle as the first one, not a bus, but something else. No, I don't know about a boat, but maybe a plane, and it could have been like Dennis Hopper's kid or brother. Like that would have been something to do. But just the fact that there's like another random situation. I know that's most action movies that it just springs up on you, but just to have Sandra Bullock as the only person from the original,
dumb. And you have I guess a terrorist, William Dafoe on there, but he's working alone. Like
that was weird too. And I thought he was working with one of the guys in
that's what I thought.
A captain. Because they were talking earlier in the movie. That was the dumbest scene. Because they were talking and he was like thinking he was the captain. So before the captain was even dead. Then they talked like 15 minutes later. No voice change, nothing. And he goes, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "Whoa.
You don't recognize him?"
They just talked.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that. So I've never been on a cruise ship, but are like the captain uniforms all just like the same style? So you could just buy a uniform and just match right in, because he has his own captain uniform he throws on, and it's the exact same uniform that everybody else has. So like if you have a captain's uniform, you can go on every cruise ship and they're all wearing the same exact captain uniform.
You just gave somebody a great idea. Either a great idea that works or a bad idea and they end up in prison for impersonating a captain. But I went on only one like that yacht in Miami. And the people on our ship had like all these matching uniforms, and the ship next door.
Well, I believe they have, when you're on that particular ship, but the fact that he just randomly brought on a captain disguise, and it's the exact same ones that everybody else has.
He planned that. He probably called up or he hacked into their mainframe.
The uniform company that washes their clothes. Hey, I need
they cut that scene. It was him going there. Oh man, polyester.
And okay, so this his whole thing is he's also, besides that he's angry about this company or the ship, he wants to steal these diamonds. Now, if the way the woman comes out and says that she has these $1 million jewels, she just gonna hold them loosely like that? Like they're not they're not in like a case or anything. They're like just randomly out there. Like, I mean, first of all, do cruise ships do that? Like bring expensive items?
I know, to have that area. I didn't really. I guess I know they have safes whenever you even go to a hotel, but to have something like that was pretty.
And she's walking around holding it in her hand. Like again, like usually when they do like whether they're doing an auction or whatever, they'll leave it on the stage in a case. She's like, anyone want to see some expensive jewelry? And she's like walking around like so stupid. Like it's just so dumb.
How about how they go on? How he pops the question to go to this. So she finds out he's part of the Suicide Squad, that he's a madman, because the guy walks up and he goes, "Hey, you're the madman," right? So he like outs him.
They had to make sure we knew that he's the madman.
Yeah. But that made me laugh a little bit, because she already like kind of guessed like, "Who are you part of?" And then that guy comes up and says that. But again, it's their 7-month anniversary. She tells her driving instructor Dorf. Dorf goes fishing about that. And the fact that he just has these yacht tickets or cruise ship tickets like on his person while he was doing wheelies, doing all this stuff, he would like, I don't know, put him in his glove box somewhere else. It's on him.
Well, and he wasn't expecting to see her. So why would he need to have it on? Like the fact that she just happened to show up in the same spot and like she almost went off the cliff. Like
and why did he take her down that road? Was that her making a wrong turn? Because I know one joke was he said something, it's all right. And she said, "Oh, you want me to go right?" It was one of those. I don't know if that's what made, because I would hope he would not take anyone up that.
But she also didn't see in front of her, because he said like, you got to stop, like, or something. And like, so yeah, I mean, but yeah, why did he carry it with him if he wasn't expecting to see her? Like, leave it in your locker back in the office, back at the station, or the fact that he has this ring loosely in his pocket the entire,
oh my gosh,
and it's still there. Like this guy swam underwater, got sucked in by propeller, like everything imaginable, and the ring is just loosely in his pocket.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing about his attitude that makes me laugh because he's always like rough. Every conversation's like, I'm kind of rough. And then he's like, I'm going to do something sweet or say something sweet. Like that's what happens every time. He's like very like put off. And then like this same thing. He's like, oh, let's not talk about it. Oh, cruise ship. And it's like, oh, okay.
And they made it like the first half hour of this movie was just their romance.
Yeah.
Like talk about a slow pace. Like again, like speed doesn't stop. Like the movie speed goes like from 0 to 60 from the beginning, or 0 to 55 from the beginning. Right. Like, and it's not like here. It's like we had the half hour. We got to see them dating. Then they meet the people again. They go to this one club. You have Jamaican singers. Then you have UB40 over here. And then you have another band. Like, it's just like, it was like so many bands. We had to see them partying she's painting her nails on a cruise ship. Like who does that? Like wouldn't you do that before you go there? You get your hair cut, you get your nails done. You're not bringing your nail polish on the cruise ship.
Maybe she didn't. She wanted to wait for the vibe, see what the vibe was, to what color she was gonna go with. Maybe,
or maybe they just left straight from the accident with the with the rest of the ice cream guy.
Oh my god! Can you imagine they went right away?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so. Their last second cruise ship tickets.
Oh my gosh!
Which brings me to my next point. I thought when they get to the ship, we meet Dante. Hey, my name is Dante.
Well,
remember my name.
Before you get to the ship, how did they get to the ship? Is that normal? You take a boat to the cruise ship?
Oh yeah. They
took like a speedboat to get to the cruise ship. Doesn't a cruise ship dock like somewhere and then everybody gets on? And why are there only 5 people on the boat? So you have this huge cruise ship, and then you have the speedboat that's bringing people to the cruise, and there's only like 5 people on it.
5 can fit at a time. Yeah,
it'd take a long time to fill a cruise ship up.
Oh my god!
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, so Dante, who's pretty funny, but when we see Defoe, he's asking for his golf clubs, right? So how does Alex? He gives him a look when the way he's asking for his golf clubs and kind of be like, I asked right, I need my golf clubs, which is kind of weird, right? Because they're on a cruise ship.
I was going to say, why would you no one questions why he even brought golf clubs in the first place. You're on a cruise ship.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Like they couldn't think of something else that he could maybe a guitar or something he can actually use on a cruise ship. Like, so let's pick the one thing that he won't be using on a cruise ship for him to be worried about. Because that's not a concern.
Yeah, but when Alex looked at him and gave him like this little cook, like, I thought right from there, I'm like, because I don't remember this movie. I remember watching bits and pieces of it, like when it came out, but I was like, oh my god, he's gonna break her heart. Like this is all a setup. Like I know he's only in like the LAPD, but in my head, I'm like, dude, he's on that cruise ship to watch Geiger. Because it was weird that he saw him did that, and I'm like, it's kind of.
Oh, you
weird.
Thought he was a bad guy?
No, I thought Alex was a good guy. I'm just saying, I thought Alex was there on that cruise ship to watch Geiger.
Not because
the way he spotted him, and then I'm like, oh my god, she's just like a decoy to make it seem like he's a normal guy and not undercover. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition. There was no twist in this movie, like you said.
No.
I thought the one captain that was talking to him a couple of times was helping him. No, nothing.
No, and you know what? I think it would have been good if he was part of it. At the end, we find out that he was working with Defoe because she's only known him for 6 months.
Yeah.
And if he was like, part of it, at least give it a little twist, that would have been good.
Yeah, it just felt so flat, man. But when you saw the leeches for the first time, when he pulls out the jars in his room, I did not think it was going to be that. I had no guess. But I remember, man, they look like sea monkeys.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was either. Even when he until he put it on his body, I didn't know what was in that jar. Like it was just, I thought there was some kind of fish or something. It was just weird. Like it was just weird. It was just so dumb. Like they're just trying to make his crazy, and it just, I don't know. I feel like it was over the top.
And then right from there, when he takes out the leeches, that's when we see his golf clubs. and he opens up the face of the driver and has a little keyboard on it. That's what he uses for like one of the later scenes, and it's just so silly.
Well, the stuff that he has, did you know did you notice the fiber optic converter? It literally said in big letters, fiber optic converter.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
On it. Like telling us that's what this is. Like, I don't think you're going to have a fiber. First of all, I don't even know what a fiber optic converter is, but I don't think it's going to say fiber optic converter and big letters on there.
They want the audience to know we understand what hackers can do.
All right. So let's talk about probably the creepiest part of this.
Yeah.
Okay. And I based on that laugh, I think you're going to agree.
Yes.
But his relationship with the deaf girl,
yeah.
I mean, like, and the fact that the parents are watching this, first of all, the way he's looking at her across the room.
Very seductive.
Very. And she had to be like 12. And
no, she was 15.
Okay.
Now, remember, because she goes, that girl you're with is pretty. And, and it says, I'll be 15 next month.
You're right. So, but there was like a couple of scenes in this movie. There was a scene where the camera looked her up and down. When she was like, before she left her parents, like it literally filmed her from the ankles up, went up and down because of what she was wearing. But the fact that he's talking like almost flirty with this girl, her parents are sitting right there. They don't, I mean, they're so oblivious to her. But obviously, I mean, the fact that they were getting on the boat, not knowing where their daughter is. Just because the captain said, oh, she's probably on another boat. But you don't know that. Like, I was it was just a weird. And then like they met up a couple of times, and she's like still flirting with him, and like, it was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, the way he looked at her, and it was just really bizarre. It wasn't. Yeah, it got very uncomfortable pretty quick. Oh man, so
Well, how about the whole table that he was sitting with? Was there a non-annoying couple at that table?
Oh my God! Did you notice some of the people? You noticed all of them? Obviously, Patricia.
Yep.
Mike. I forgot what his last name was, but he was on Life with Louie. He was on
Friends.
Wayne's World, right? He was. Yep. He worked in. He was one of the customers at the donut in that donut scene.
No, I think he was learning. He was trying to dance. He was like trying to dance on Friends. I think Joey dances with him. Like there was like, or he might have been a laundry guy.
And his wife. One of the hottest women ever in a movie, Yvette and Clue.
Which is amazing because I mean, like she is funny, but like the way she looks as Yvette compared to like other stuff, like you would never. I always forget, but she really like as Yvette, crazy. Like
it's insane, because that same year within a year was Police Academy 2, right?
Yep.
She played what's his name's wife, and she
Was she in the Addams Family? Wasn't she like was she like either the bad guy or the child? Or like
in Addams Family?
Or like the daughter? Like, the normal daughter? Was it her? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
It was another blonde then. All right, whatever. They all look alike.
Man. Yeah, but you're right. All the characters at the table.
All of them. All annoying. Like, I mean, like really, and why are they sitting with them? Like, because clearly, like they're looking to get away, and they're sitting with like they probably could not fit in any less than they did at that table. Like all the couples seem like they could have been friends from like home, and like just they're all annoying. They get together on Fridays. They look like the neighborhood couples. That would be they stuck out like a sore thumb. The other two,
like and we didn't see anybody else. It was funny that. No. There was no other lines except there was one girl randomly in the movie at the end when they were on the ship. She says like, "Get down." Like, and I'm like, this is a person we've never seen yet, but she had like this one line because I thought it was Sandra Bullock, but I'm like, it can't be her. She's with Defoe right now. It was right at that point.
Yeah, you're right. There really wasn't anyone else. I mean, the fact that they all got stuck in the same hallway. Like together?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Just them. Yeah, that was so silly.
And that was a funny line, though. There was a funny line in that scene when they were.
Okay.
What do you say? I wrote it down somewhere. We're not there yet, but I'll tell you when we get there.
All right, cool. So Yeah, so this is when he's thinking about doing the proposal, which is very awkward, like in this situation with these strangers, and he can't find he couldn't find the ring. And at this point,
he had the ring. But she was saying he lost his courage because she was like, "You're not serious. Like this is like can't like she kind of put him."
Yeah, but I thought he went into the pocket and did like a very nervous like, "Where is it?" Oh, we saw it.
No, he had the ring.
I thought the pouch was empty.
No, so he was taking it out, and as she kept talking, because she doesn't shut up, that he ended up putting it back in his pocket because he was like, and then he ends up throwing up, which is amazing because this guy's like the crazy guy.
Yeah, what was that? Is he purposely vomiting to get out of this awkward situation?
No, he was seasick, but he's seasick. But this is a guy that's jumping, like a Tom Cruise, jumping probably to airplanes, riding motorcycles, doing the craziest stuff, and he's getting seasick.
No way.
It's so stupid.
Pretty lame. I thought he just was able to puke on command to get through out of an awkward conversation. He's like, ugh.
No, I don't think so. I think he was really because unless you're that talented that you can make yourself puke like that. Because he was blowing chunks. I mean, it was like it was.
Oh, dude, it was. They did a good job when he was laying in the bed. You saw it dripping off the side of it. I'm like, all right, they're really.
Well, that's where the budget went. They had to get real looking puke.
Guys, the budget's tight. Frank, stick your fingers in your throat. We need you in 5.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god, dude.
And this is around the same time I think when the girl goes off because her father didn't like what she was wearing, which I really didn't see anything wrong with what she was wearing. Like it wasn't like she was wearing low cut or anything. Like she looked like a normal.
This was not, but this is are you talking about like this is right after the dinner, the way when all the remember all the servers start exploding, like the computer servers get overheated.
Well, the deaf girl left first. She wasn't part of that. Remember? Didn't she leave already? Because I don't think the parents would have let her go if there was things going off.
Yeah, I guess. I thought everybody stayed at the tables.
Then why would they wouldn't let her walking around alone after all that? Because
are you talking about when her and Jason Patrick bump into each other?
No, when the girl goes off on her own
and then gets stuck in the elevator.
Correct.
That's later. That's at the end of the movie.
She gets stuck in the elevator later in the movie, but she leaves her parents early because
okay.
Remember, because the father's like, you shouldn't be wearing that, and then she just walks off, and the mom goes, "Don't worry, she'll find her way," or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there was something after the scene, yeah. But the things that were blowing up weren't loud. Like it wasn't anything. People got startled, but this is when we find out. I don't know if you noticed the bombs that he used in those little things, the little sulfur bombs or whatever they were the golf balls.
Yeah. You don't think I noticed? Of course, that's what he was.
Oh, using. I don't know. They only showed like one of them.
Yeah, but
we didn't see him throw them or anything. You just saw one sitting there. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
and he also placed what did he place? Like a speaker or something in that room or sonar or because it was like a square box that he had.
Oh, yeah.
Captain's, so I don't know. Like,
when he fell on the ground?
When he was drunk. Yeah. And he did it twice. He fell twice and they don't see his hands going up as he's falling down. Like,
yeah, I know, right? Like the perfect timing. It'd be great to see him miss. That's all right. This is awkward, guys.
Yeah. There was a weird thing that he did, and I don't know like what was going on, but like he was kind of repeating or telling the captain and the shipmate what to say or like and they were repeating what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. That happened. Yeah, and then like 15 minutes later, when he talks to the guy on the phone, the guy's not
right, but
recognizing the voice that just told him to do those things. That was weird. Why did he repeat word for word?
He talked to both of them. He talked to both of them and the captain. He was talking to both of them. So why were they repeating what he was saying? Who do they think he was?
No explanation.
Like it was almost like they were almost like robotic, and he was like he had them in a trance, and he like that's what it felt like, but it obviously wasn't. But it didn't make sense why they both separately were repeating what he was saying. Like, they didn't explain that. That was weird.
It was changing course. It was like trying to get because that was the whole thing that he wanted to do. I don't know if it was a transmitter, but how can like just a normal person? There has to be cameras on the ship. There should be a security guard. How is he able to easily walk into the the power supply room? Like he makes like one turn, walks past one person, nods his head, and then is able to go right in.
Well, my guess is it's not easy to walk into the captain who's driving or, driving the ship. Is it called driving a ship?
Steering a ship? Maybe.
Steering is turning it, but I don't know. Like, I mean, is it called like? I don't think it's called.
I'm gonna go drive my boat. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm gonna go drive my ship.
It just doesn't sound right, but maybe. So I would assume that door's locked also. Like, I don't think anyone could just go up there.
Yes, there should not be access to that.
No. So unless he was using his fancy Nintendo glove to get in there.
Oh my God.
Which I don't think he had it activated yet. Because we had to see a couple of scenes of him at his laptop in his room, punching away the keys.
Dude, I was dying when he uses that to lock Alex into the room, and he just says like he lifts his arm so quick and hits the thing and the doors closes. You
realize that's the Predator's thing. Doesn't the Predator have the same thing? He has it on his wrist.
A lot of people don't. Yeah, isn't it like somebody in Star Trek? Maybe no.
Who watches Star Trek?
Well, somebody. Yeah, so a lot of people. It's been around for a long time.
Again, we already discussed this. It's the nerds that watch Star Trek, or no, the geeks watch Star Trek. The nerds watch Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Geeker, nerd. We've talked about that before. But I don't know. Just the fact that when he did it, it was just so silly. And then when he did it again and the door closed behind him, I'm like, oh my God.
And again, like I can't imagine. So if you're that high, and this happens in all the movies, but if you're that high tech of a tech savvy for the computer systems and all that stuff, you can just randomly pick the doors you want to open and close at any moment. Like I would think, like if anything, fine. They all open at the same time and they close at the same time. Like it's like I don't think you can pinpoint the doors you want to open just by tapping your glove around. Like how are you remembering which door is which to open the code? And he does that multiple times. Like he's able to close some doors. He's running around, and like I said, there literally is a laptop in every corner where there's on the ship, just sitting there. Like I don't think so.
Yeah. And then so we talked about him. He's vomiting. They wake up in the morning. Sandra Bullock's by herself. He's out skeet shooting, and that's when he runs into the deaf girl.
Yep.
And how creepy is it? I should have clipped this. I gotta find it. It should be a GIF. I gotta make it into like a GIF or a GIF. When he's skeet shooting and he's talking to the deaf girl, Geiger's watching them, and he's eating cereal out of a plastic bowl. It is so creepy. He's just like eating the cereal and watching them talk, man. It is nuts.
It's so weird.
The fact that he woke up to go shooting. You know what would be really nice right now? This girl that I've lied to her for the last 7 months. Today's our anniversary. You know what? I'm just gonna wake up and just forget about her.
And she said, like, you have this. She said you had no clothes on in bed, like, and you're leaving to go shooting. You couldn't wait, another day. So yeah. But listen, he had a strange relationship with this deaf girl. I mean, mean, later in the movie when they're like, with the water coming in, I don't know if you remember, but he was yelling to her, "Hold on, she's deaf." The whole scene when they were holding on with the flood coming, he literally yells, "Hold on, hold on."
She relips.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like he was yelling it as if like she's gonna hear. Like that's how he was yelling.
Yeah. I guess you have to for the moment, even if you know that you need to read your lips. It's not like you're gonna be like in this panicking moment, like water rushing. You're not gonna be like,
right. So my guess is if you're yelling "hold on" because there's a flood and you're gonna die, you're screaming it. Your mouth is not moving the same way it normally would when if you're saying.
Well, I hope the person would think if I'm animated, this is something serious is happening. It's not like I'm saying something like "it's gonna be sunny today." I even hope they think like, wow, like grab something, like something's about to go down.
Well, it seems like everybody's oblivious because, they were looking for the girl. They heard banging like in certain areas and they were ignoring it as if like that was normal as well. When the girl was banging on the elevator, no one, flinched. And like you could hear it always. Yeah. Like no one questioned it. So
I guess because at that point, that's when all the sounds were happening. Like, remember the engines? Like pretty soon after this is when he started overheating the engines. So maybe.
Well, that's when they're like, it sounded like bombs going off and Sandra Bullock was getting worried because it's another day ruined. She's like, no, let's keep dancing.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep dancing as bombs are going off and this panic going on. Like, yeah. And everybody seemed calm. Like, no one was like rushing to get out of there. Like, I don't know. It seemed like there was a lot of calmness in a few scenes of this movie. Until the end.
Yeah, and he's ready to go out, but she, like you said, she wants to keep dancing because that's when he's about to say something like romantic to her. He's like, over the last 7 months, he's like trying to get something out that he's making up on the spot, and then the boom happens, and it's like, oh, okay.
So let me ask you this: when they were, I guess instructed to like go this way, there was a scene where a woman goes, I have a feeling about this. And she turned around with her husband and went the opposite way. Do you remember that scene?
No.
Okay, because you never hear
that
about
right around here? Because this is when the deaf girl gets stuck in the elevator.
Yes.
And so she walked off right at this point.
Correct.
Her dad said that. Yep.
So she's on, first of all, the girl's deaf and you're on a huge cruise ship and she's alone. You're going to leave her alone like that? Like, I know. I would never. But everybody in the crowd is going one way, like, they're being directed like traffic. And there was a woman that says, I have a feeling about this. And she turned around and she went with her husband the opposite way the crowd was going. And then you never hear from her again.
What? I got to find that.
Yes. She goes, I have a feeling about this. She turns around. I wrote it down. Woman has a feeling about this and goes the opposite way.
That's insane.
It made
and then we
no
never
sense.
see her again.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the camera was on her when she said this. So, yeah. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I was trying to see if I can get that line or something. I was thinking would have been Sandra Bullock. That's
no,
wild.
It wasn't Sandra Bullock. It wasn't Sandra Bullock.
Maybe it was a stand-in. Maybe this is an American Ninja 2 moment.
Telling you, we have to look. I'm telling you, I wrote it down for a reason. And she goes, I have a feeling about this. And literally, as the crowd's going one way, she turns around and goes the opposite way.
Oh my God, dude.
So we'll have to look for it after. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. So this is when he's back on the phone with him, when Geiger's back on the phone with the new captain because the other guy's dead.
Yep.
We covered that earlier. And again, they just met and spoke. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll have to do this. And he's like, make sure you're going to close off communication and you're going to abandon ship. And then everybody's like getting out of there. It's like, holy shit, this is serious. There's all these bombs going off, all this smoke. And then right away, Alex is like, I don't know about this. Like, he's already like, I'm going to go back in. Like, what could you possibly think in this scenario? Like, what are the chances of a terroristic thing to happen? Wouldn't just be like, okay, I just got to go out in this lifeboat now.
What did he say? He smelled the sulfur or something like that?
He smelled the sulfur, yeah. So he's worried about what type of bombs.
So, like, his training, it was able to, like, that seems like something that doesn't happen too often. Like fake bombs go off and sulfur smell, and somehow he was
he was ex-military. They didn't shoehorn that line in because they usually when they can do that, like somebody can do anything. Once they mention like
clearly he can do anything.
Brain. Yeah,
I mean, the ideas that he comes up with and the things he does. I mean, he should have died multiple times in this movie. I mean, the propeller scene alone, he should have been sucked on within seconds. Ridiculous. So yeah, okay.
Not bad CGI. Like some parts of it were really bad. Like I think the first time we saw it, but there was the whipping of it. Like when the rope was taken in, I'm like, that's pretty good for 97. I know obviously we had Jurassic Park that blew everybody away, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The fact that they used a real cruise ship crashing into something, that was insanity to me versus the CG they probably could have done. Or
how do you know they did a real cruise ship?
That's real. They cost $25 million, that scene alone.
To destroy a cruise ship?
Yes.
That's insane.
I
don't know if they used the full cruise ship or they used like the front of something.
Right.
But I think it was legit because it tore through all that. Like that was real. It was a semi-abandoned town that they used to destroy.
Wait, you said semi-abandoned, so there were people there that died because they
or I'm saying that section of it
Oh.
was like not used anymore. Maybe it was like an old like travel like shore area. But
Can
yeah,
you
is that
imagine, like
crazy?
they had squatters there that were just hanging out in the buildings and like the village. All right.
Now they're squishers.
Oh.
So now at this point, Geiger is like, all right, everybody's distracted. They're going to lifeboats, which is crazy. Just for them to go to lifeboats, it gives him the access he needs. And in order, but again, how are you going to get it off? He knows there's jet skis there. Is that a thing?
He planned this whole thing out, I guess, but it clearly showed that they were not prepared to ever use the lifeboats ever.
Oh my God, that was freaky.
If that wasn't a scene from Titanic of like, it really like it makes you question cruise ships. Like, are they prepared to use
the safety
of these boats? Because there was complete chaos. And again, people falling into the water, not going after them. And like it was just chaos. It was complete chaos.
It was like, oh, you gotta pull this side, you gotta pull that side. I'm like, wouldn't you just like each side would already be equal when it opens up? Like,
isn't it like a crank that just lowers it like evenly? Like it's, yeah. Again, and why did it seem like there was only like one boat? Like there was no one else.
I know,
there really was no one else on that cruise ship, because if you're abandoning ship because you were told to, that whole like level should have been packed. The cruise ship, and there wasn't. It was one boat filled. That's it. That's all.
We didn't have a ton of extras. We had those people that were in that boat, and then the friends from the table that were locked in, and the deaf girl, and then the captain and the other guy working in that section. Yeah, there really weren't that many actors for a movie that you would think it's so big because it's on a cruise ship. It's not like on a small boat.
Yeah.
No, that was kind of like Jason Takes Manhattan-ish, that people suddenly like disappeared or for some reason weren't there or
So how small is the elevator on that ship? Because the girl was able to put her feet on one side, her hands on the other side, and crawl all the way up to the ceiling.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, because she's a small girl. She's 15, right? Like, so she's big enough that she could fit across the elevator and go all the way up like that. Like,
yeah, they wouldn't have small elevators like that. It would take so many to do these trips, maybe on a cruise ship, but that was tiny.
Think about the women at that table, because there's a fat joke later on. So you don't remember the fat joke?
I don't know.
So when they were in the hallway, was it Sandra Bullock or someone said, I wrote it down right here. Hold on. She goes, "Are there any little girls in there?" And the one guy from Friends and everything else, he goes, "No, just a lot of big women."
He's funny, dude.
So it was a funny, but like, there's no way, like if that was the case, like some of those women, you'd have to go in the elevator one at a time.
One at a time, yeah.
Because that elevator was tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if he was able to do that to finally get out after all that time. Yeah.
Okay.
So now he's ready to get to leave, and then this is when he kind of hears that they're looking for the deaf girl anyway. So he gets off the Alex, he gets off the ship. He goes in. That's when he's talking to everybody, and they're finding out like the scenario. How about when the captain slipped? When he was like questioning him, and he said like, "I don't know what this guy's capable of," and he goes, "What do you mean this guy?" And then that's when he like kind of slips like, "Oh my God, this is a real emergency.
Yeah.
This is like some ransom or something."
Well, let me ask you this. Why, when they realized the girl's missing, they went to look for her. Why wasn't the father looking for her?
He stayed on the ship too, right? Him and the mom just stayed on there. Yeah, I don't know why
you don't really see them until the end when the boat's crashing. But like your daughter's missing. You have the stranger looking for her. Wouldn't you also want to join the search party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Why would you want to help? And this is where I wrote. So I don't remember if she was trying to get out and they said no. And then remember when the ship started like shifting. That's when she's the one who fell back. and then 2 people fell into the water, and nothing happened after that.
And she basically murdered them.
Yeah.
And
She
again,
did
like
murder them.
they watched them fall, and they just kept doing the thing. Like they didn't even see like maybe they're alive. Maybe we throw them a life preserver, like something, like nothing. They just forget. They were 2 extras. They really didn't have any lines. We could just throw them over. That's okay.
Yeah. And then Dante's about to die, but Alex saves him. So that was like another person that, again, does Defoe get credit as the bad guy kill for the 2 people that fell in the water? I don't think so. I think that mom is ahead of the deaf girl's mom has more kills than Defoe at this point.
Easily. Yeah, easily. So crazy.
Yeah. So then this is when they figure out, oh my God, he wants to crash the ship. And then you get Alex having a dumb line about ball. When it's like, what are you seeing there? It's like balls. Golf balls? He goes, Geiger. Let's go get Geiger. Like that is the only clue that got him in, because one guy was wanting his golf clubs. That was like, again, what if they were stopping at a golf course? You're going to start attacking every golfer?
Well,
accusing them?
How does he know his name? I don't remember him ever mentioning. I know he was talking.
I don't remember that either. And I was going to rewind. I was thinking maybe at that point, because when he was talking really loud, he might have said Mr. Geiger or something.
He never mentioned his name. So like the fact that he knew exactly, Geiger, he had no clue. So yeah, he shouldn't have known his name.
So you're saying, so that's maybe another reason why I kept thinking of the whole, he was involved. He knew that Geiger was going to be on that ship. The fact that he knew his name,
that would be plausible. It
would have been cool if they revealed that, but nothing.
No, of course. Why would they?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So now he's going after Geiger. Is this where he gets stuck in a room with the fire?
Geiger locks him in already when he finds them?
I don't know.
He finds the leeches. No, I know, but he goes in, he finds the leeches. The next thing I have on here is this when Dante and Sandra Bullock, they find the people that are locked away. And this is where when she chainsaws through the wall and almost chops his head off.
Before that, they all take their clothes off. And the one girl had to say that she wasn't wearing underwear. That's why she couldn't take her dress off.
Oh man, yeah.
Because they're like, and the one guy goes, "I'm not taking my pants off." How come she's not taking her dress off? She goes, "Well, because I'm not wearing any underwear." And it looked like she was like showing him, because she started lifting her dress up. But like Yvette from Clue is the first one to take her clothes off.
Yeah, Colin Camp. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that guy Mike is so funny.
Oh, he is.
So many small roles he has. I love that. Unlike Lucky Louie, he was in like every episode of that show. And he always plays a good grizzled. He reminds me of
guy. Like the poor man's John Candy, right? He has like the line. He has like the lines like a John Candy would have, kind of thing. But yeah, he's funny. So yeah, but he's the one that said, there's no little girls here, just big women. But yes, so this is the scene with the chainsaw, which again, the fact that it's just sitting there, like I got to find something, because first of all, we didn't talk about the one guy that was taking pictures the entire movie.
Dante.
Oh, that's Dante? I thought you meant the other guy. I thought Dante was the bellhop.
No, this is Dante. He goes, "Hi, remember, and if you need anything, my name's Dante."
Okay. So, but he was taking it every scene, every dramatic scene, every scene that they could have died, he was still taking pictures.
That's his job, man.
So ridiculous. He takes it very
You survived this chaotic thing, Dante, but you didn't take any pictures for the last 4 hours of the day. We're going to have to write you up.
But he's screaming at her, like, this tool's not working. And she's like, let me find something else. And it's like, it's almost like it would be like a Naked Gun scene where like they go in a closet and you see like all these crazy, like a chainmail and like, an axe and like, and then she sees the chainsaw. She's like, yeah, that's what you got to use. She went looking for something and just happened to find a chainsaw. Like it just, like
makes no sense for it to be on there.
I want to know like that meeting, like, all right, she's going to leave, to find a weapon, like something to help. Like, let's get a crowbar. No, that's too realistic. We can't do a crowbar.
The first one I would have had a crowbar. We got to do better.
It's so stupid. Because what are the one thing that we know that would never be on a cruise ship? A chainsaw. Perfect.
Right.
Chainsaw and a weed whacker. That would have been like, like if they had a weed whacker next to the chainsaw. All right, now now you got something going.
Yeah. Oh my god! Like an axe would make more sense because
Of course.
that can do something.
Of
But
course.
a chainsaw would just, I feel like, just hit against it.
My guess is there's probably axes on a cruise ship. You know, they used to have axes in hallways and hotels and like, to break the glass or whatever kind of stuff. Which
Yeah.
I always question why do they have axes like in hotel, like in the movies, like in a hallway or like.
I know. Yeah, no, like old New York buildings.
I don't think anyone would ever need one. Like, but yeah, I mean, but okay, I can see an axe, but a chainsaw, not even close. Like again, we do this with a lot of movies. If they say, all right, give me 50 items that she can grab off the like in the closet,
Yeah.
I think I could come up with 50. And not one would be a chainsaw. Like chainsaw would not be one.
It'd be hard to say 50, but none of them would be
hard to
chainsaw.
say 50, but I think I could still find 50 items, kitchen utensils or something. But
that's true.
A chainsaw, that would not make the list.
Yeah, no, that definitely does not work. Did you notice the stunt actors? Like, it looked like almost like the whole story from Deep Blue Sea. Like that scene when all of the actors and the water breaks, like that was an accident and like people could have like really got hurt. This movie looked like it was a similar thing. So when Alex finds the deaf girl and they're like walking in the hallway and the water just starts rushing, they fall so hard, man.
Well, this is where he says, hold on to her. Like, so you think about this movie, right? Like a movie like this, Speed was all about the villain and the hero, right? That's the whole movie. Here you have the villain, but the movie's really about the boat. Like all the stuff that's going on in the boat, explosions, the water. It's not really the villain and the people, the villain and the hero. It's just really, it's like Titanic. It was a boat that's going to crash. It's going to flood. It's like a disaster in the boat. And that's what we're watching. We're watching a boat disaster, not a villain hero movie.
Yeah. The fact that he was on the ship to me is so corny. I know that's the only way you could do it, but like, at least in Speed, he was like in an apartment, and then on the top of a building, like these different scenarios. But I wrote like, again, it's creepy, the relationship with the deaf girl, and nothing against Jason Patrick. He's awesome. But like Keanu might have flirted in a way with the girl like that wasn't like communicated with her that didn't come off creepy. Like just the way Jason was like looking at her and
I don't even think Keanu would have probably had more. He probably would have flirted more with a vet from Clue than he would have with the little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would like. I think he would have treated the little girl like a little girl, right? Like I think Jason Patrick. And again, it's I don't know. Like again, I don't think he was really flirting, but it's the way he acted with the situation. It just came across that way. So it just came off weird. So
no, definitely.
Okay.
So now Alex at this point is when he sees Defoe. After they like get out of the water is when they see Geiger and Geiger runs.
It was like weird because first of all, like it seemed like Geiger was running and going through these hallways like half the movie. And then at the end, like near the end, he ended up in the same spot everybody was in. Because he came down in 2 seconds when he realized that the boat was slowing down. When he went back down. He was right there.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, he's going through doors. He's like running through hallways. I mean, it's a big ship and like, it's taking him forever to get there. But it's like he did a Scooby-Doo. He went to one door that just literally brought him right to the beginning again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was definitely like, it was like watching somebody play GoldenEye for 64.
It was. That's
like in those doors, the way if you left, right, left.
That's exactly
like,
what it felt like.
Quick little turns of him holding the bag and going sideways, and
that was the chase because like Jason Patrick put his body in front of the door a few times trying to stop it, and that's a good scenario. GoldenEye. That's funny.
But when he uses that keyboard, this is when he locks him in the room, right?
He locks him in a room with the grenade on the door, which this whole thing is ridiculous in so many ways. The fact that he's able to figure out what kind of bomb grenade is on the other side of the door just by the serial number.
The number, I know, yeah.
I mean, and he's like, Sandra Bullock is like, no problem just unarming it. Like, like she, like, I mean, like, it just a little crazy. But here's the biggest question. So she, they both fall on the ground, and she asked the guy to grab the grenade, which, by the way, he's Jango Fett from Star Wars.
Oh, that's the captain now in the movie. Oh,
yeah.
no
I think that's Jango Fett from the middle Star Wars. But so he takes it from her, and then the next scene they're on top. They're outside on the top level. Where's the grenade?
I know,
because the pin was pulled. So where's the grenade? Like they should have like had him run upstairs, throw it in the ocean or something. Like no, like he literally took it out of her hands because she didn't want to move her hand. She's laying on the ground. He takes it from her, and then the next thing they're above and they're just looking out and see the oil rig that they're going to crash into.
I guess that this for some reason that disarmed it, whatever they did, which makes no sense.
No, it did not, because the pin, unless they, I mean, I don't know, but could you put the pin back in? I mean, I don't know. It was just like, it would have been better if like they took it, like it would have been more suspenseful if he ran upstairs and threw it overboard and it blew up in the water, right? Like, you see that in a lot of movies, not like forgetting about it. Like this was supposed to be an intense scene. The grenade's going to almost go off, run it upstairs and throw it. And okay, fine. Woo, they just made it. No, instead we're just gonna pretend like it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. And the fact that I wrote down, she can't drive, but you're gonna trust her to do this. Like this is really life and death. Even though her driving for the people on the road is life and death, this is life and death.
100%. And I mean, I think even the toughest people are going to be sweating and crapping their pants dealing with a live grenade.
Yeah.
And this is the person you want. And speaking of driving, how about the fact that when she went upstairs, she thought she was steering the boat. She started like steering, like, and the guy goes, "What are you doing?" She was just like, "Listen, I'm just trying to make myself useful. I don't know what to do. So, pretend like I'm doing something."
Yeah. How about Geiger? This is when he changes the course of the ship. They change it one time, and you see like the captain and all the mates, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're changing course." And it's like, "Oh, we're heading right for that mountain." And then it's like the thing changes again, like do, 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 do. And then it's like, "Oh, we're heading right for that oil tanker."
And is that easy to turn a cruise ship like that?
That doesn't seem real. Like they turn. He's like, you can't do both at the same time. You can only do one. So the one that he turns, how does that make it turn? What would that be?
I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And the fact that he has access to do all this stuff. There's like nothing on that ship that he doesn't have access to. Like he has access to everything. It's ridiculous. See, that's the one thing I like. And there's always that hacker in every single movie, from Con Air or whatever. I mean, wasn't there a hacker Con Air? I think there was a hacker. One of the guys, or Die Hard or whatever. Like all those movies.
Yeah,
they're able to hack into everything. It's one thing. Like it's unbelievable how these hackers really. And I know hackers exist and they can do these crazy things, but like when you make them like invincible, it's just like it just takes away from some of the stuff, like it's just like again, the Die Hard we just did. He's able to access every street light, every traffic light as they're driving. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's scary. Like if that were like that's insane. Like to really think about. Like, and then how would you choose what traffic? Oh, you're clicking on it. Is it a click system? Is that what like the town uses? A click to turn off and turn on the lights? It's probably a little more complicated than that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. But yeah, so now we get I wrote down how many times Sandra Bullock's reactions when things are going bad, she's like, "Oh man." Oh. She's like gets like really high pitched. Because in this part, No,
go ahead.
No, this is the part where this is when they find out what they have to do. The only way to stop it is they have to stop the propeller. So this is when they're going in and trying to just really throw whatever they can find. A rope, A chain.
So wouldn't it have been smarter to have something attached to the rope, like a big, like some kind of metal thing that would like hit into the propeller instead of just the rope itself?
Yeah.
Like I would
clog
think,
it.
I would think like using just the rope, you're taking a risk of maybe the propeller's cutting the rope in half.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it doesn't happen that way, but like, I would just think, you grab an air conditioner or something. Maybe there's a unit, there's a wall. Grab this chainsaw, throw
the chainsaw at it.
That's why they had a chainsaw.
We saw how strong it was because even later, like how strong that was and how strong the ocean floor was, like how they were trying to do the anchor and it's just ripping it out of the walls. Yeah. And same thing with the rope, right? They had the rope going to it, and it really didn't help out with the propeller.
Well, it did because it slowed it down first
for a little bit.
Well, because William Dafoe did something. He went back to his arm pad, and he started typing something. I think because he realized we were slowing. That's when he realized they were slowing down. So I think he did something because it was working at first. Because they said it's slowing it down because they showed you the knots going down. But I would assume you're that close. I don't care if you're holding on to the rope. He's getting sucked in there. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to survive that. Like, and he's like swimming normal. Like, yeah.
Yeah. There's no way at all that he survives that.
No.
Just being that close to it.
No.
Oh my gosh.
And, to get down there, he had to swim towards it.
Yes, which is insane. So he's swimming towards it. What if the current's behind him?
Yeah.
But what did he do before he went in? He told her his badge number. And she said, "Thank you, Alex. Thank you."
And the
smile
it was the greatest
thing.
That's the smile she had was like, now I trust him. Like now we're a couple. Now we're official. And you know what? He should have asked her at the end of the movie. So what's my badge number? Because she probably forgot it.
She even knows. Yeah, right. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's telling me. Why would he? He thought this was such a big deal that I was hanging over his head."
I wanted to know so bad, and she probably forgot. There's no way she remembered. I forgot it as soon as he said it. There's no way she remembered right away with all the chaos that's going on.
Yeah. So this did work. Remember, you're right. Like you mentioned just before. So it did slow everything down, and then Geiger shows up with a gun.
But he doesn't use it. Like he didn't. Like why? Like,
it didn't work.
No. And wait. So wasn't the captain in the water also? Why was the captain in the water? Or he kicks him.
He was helping.
No.
Oh, dude. He kicks him off the ship.
He gave him the old 300 kick. Like the kick he does. The captain went flying into the water, and then doesn't the captain his arm get shot? That's when the anchor comes out, right, and skins his arm.
Yeah, is that what it was? Yeah.
Something came out and like swung through and like I think it ripped his arm. Like, yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about when it rips through the wall?
Something because what
later?
Ripped his arm?
I think he cuts it going into the propeller because Sandra Bullock finds him.
No,
right?
It was something that's because Jason Patrick ducks and the captain it swung. I think it was the anchor maybe. That swung out.
Okay. I remember the anchor later in the movie when they're like running away and the anchor is like ripping into the building.
I think that's what ripped the captain like his arm.
Okay.
Because they had to bandage the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he was bleeding pretty bad.
Yeah,
and he was like not making it such a big deal, but his shirt was like red.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard Alex asked the captain, "Are you all right?" And his shirt's covered in blood.
His arm's like dangling. You okay? Yeah. Just a flesh wound. I mean, you have an anchor that swung by and like, look, I doubt it. Even a graze of an anchor that size is going to take your arm off. Dude. It's going to take your arm off. It's not going to give you a bleeding cut. It's
going to take an arm, your entire arm, or
it's definitely going to knock it out of the socket. Like his arm should have been dangling.
Yeah, that'd be funny. The rest of the movie, every time he's running, it's just a dangling arm.
He has like the Jim Carrey from When Nature Calls arm when he's tranquilizer. He's swinging his arm.
Yeah. So I wrote down why didn't they do that first? Like the going in and turning that, even though they had to go underwater because the ship was flooded, but just to turn that in order to like the other one was very dangerous and it ruins parts of the ship. The other one was like, okay, just turning a knob.
And if they did that way earlier, they wouldn't even graze the other boat. They would have made it easily.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that when they did do it, they just did it in the nick of time where they just like the boats basically just like kissed each other. Like it was just like a graze.
Yeah.
I mean, get out of here.
Dante was his helper, man. Dante helped him. Remember, they were taking turns going underwater.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. A few of them. One, these people are on the cruise ship. They think they're going to crash into this oil tanker and die, explode. The people in the oil tanker think they're going to die. Now, later on, when they know that it's going to explode, they get in a boat and they leave. Why didn't they leave right from the beginning, not knowing if the boat's going to crash into them? Right, the oil people.
Oh, yeah. The people in the island,
because they did it. No, the people on the oil tanker. They ended up.
Oh,
when the helicopter crashes, they know it's going to explode. They get into the boat and they paddle away, which they should have done the minute they saw the cruise ship coming at them. But if you're on this cruise ship and you think you're going to crash and it looks like you really have no time left, how about get to the lower deck and just jump in the water?
Yeah. Or do you think like you're going to explode? Couldn't you find a safe spot to go into?
Well, that's why they were in the back. They at that point because but like you were close enough that you see the land. Because the land was right behind the tanker, so it was right there. I think I would take my chances, jump in the water and swim there. Then if I think I'm going to explode, they could have saved everybody if they just said that and they decided not to.
Shark infested water. The end. Finn. 90-minute movie now.
90. It should have been a lot less.
Yeah. So yeah, and I love that they're all celebrating when they get past and then nobody realizes, even though they had the radar and they probably have been there before, maybe, or in that area. And then you see all the people like living life on the boats in the town, everything.
Okay. All right. So this whole scene, I would find it hard to believe that no one saw the ship coming towards them.
No one did. I know, which is crazy.
The boats that were out in the water didn't move. They all looked. Everybody everywhere looked surprised when they as if the boat was right on top of them. Like no one heard anything. Like I mean, the boat was full speed going, crashing into boats on the way in. No one heard anything because literally no one's moving until like the last second throughout the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, there were like people fishing still. They were out there fishing. Then they turned around. They see the boat right there. Like it was so ridiculous. Like no one heard screaming. Like the woman that's going to buy the apartment. Only the kid saw the boat.
Oh yeah, ignore your kid and then just hide near the stove.
Oh my gosh, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I was concerned for the dog. I didn't think the dog's going to make it. But the dog surprised us. The dog made it.
How about all the people that like died? There was a couple people in the little boats, and they went right into the.
There had to be a massacre because it took out buildings, and the fact that again, no one noticed it. So as they're coming, like as the boat's going there, it's crashing into everything. No one made it out. I mean, the disaster that made. Yeah. So they were more concerned about saving the 6 people that are on the ship because we didn't see anyone else than an entire town.
Yeah, they were like, we're Americans. We'll crash into it.
Because I mean, if they just crashed into the tanker, only the 6 people would have died. Or maybe you're going to say, here we got a whole town. And how about the fact that you got the guy from the first one, Speed?
Oh my God, dude! And you realize he's the guy in Pool Hall Junkies? I never put that together.
What do you play in the Pool Hall Junkies? I don't remember.
He's the main pool hustler.
Oh,
like that Johnny plays in the beginning. And then he becomes his boy, and he's a big part in the end scene. But yeah, dude, and look at his credits. He's in a ton.
Oh, he is.
He's always for a while.
He's always just like a side character. But
he has a name in this movie. In the credits in the first one, it's just Jaguar owner. This one, he actually has a name to his character.
Now, do you think it's the same guy, same character? Has to be, right?
I would hope so.
You have to. Okay.
You're going to cast the same guy and be like, you know what? We're going to give you a lot of lines in this one versus the last one. You had a few in the first one, but new guy.
Well, and the fact that they use his boat, which I don't know how he knew where to find William Dafoe. And again,
Yeah.
he does the same thing this time with a boat. Last time it was with a car to the bus, and now it's with the boat to the boat.
The boat to the boat. And the girl's like, "Come on, please!" It's like she wants to go on this high speed chase.
Oh, she was excited. Like she was the whole way. And like again, that you're on a speedboat and you're shooting a harpoon. That can't be that easy to do.
No,
and to be that accurate.
Oh man! So then at this point is when they figure out. This is when people finally really know. Because they finally find the button that you could speak to people outside of the boat, and they're warning them. And this is when they're starting to look up, even though I think it already crashed into a few
it did
boats already. But they finally find that to be able to alert people, and people are like starting to panic, but not like frantically running away, like very calmly running away.
And again, even then, it's still last minute. I mean, they had to have heard the chaos that was coming before they got to them. Like they had to have.
Yeah.
So
now the greatest scene in this movie, which I wish I would have clipped it, was the jet ski guy. So the guy in the boat pulling the guy in the water skis, on the water skis.
Yeah, water skis.
The water ski guy falls. The boat driver turns around, looks at him, not for long, and then he's airborne. Like he hits a ramp that is on the shore, flies into the air. I'm like, dude, he looked back for a second.
Yeah. Well, there were a few. Wasn't there two guys in the water that ducked when the boat was right behind? Like
they ducked into
They ducked literally in front of the ship. Do you think they got down fast enough? Like from this cruise ship with the propeller? Oh, they're mauled. Like I think those add them to the casualties. They're definitely dead.
Yeah. So at this point, we didn't see Sandra Bullock for a while. You do get a funny line, which they do have funny ones every so often, was the lady on the payphone. And she's like, "I can't hear you." And she sees the ship like coming up behind her. And she's like, "I gotta go."
So stupid. So dumb. Like, yeah.
That reminded me of this whole scene. 25 million. The whole scene, 25 million, which is crazy.
I feel like they could have done it a lot cheaper. Like I feel like I mean I don't know. It just seemed like a miniature. They don't use miniature sets.
Not even that. Use a plane.
Something.
I don't really care. It could have been. The movie. Like when one movie comes out, it's like this unique idea, especially when it comes to this. But when you're just changing the vehicle, it's like what's his name? The freaking guy that's in Plane. Gerard Butler.
Oh,
he is at the point in his career. He's so badass. He can do any action movie. He's doing Plane. The next one's going to be like Boat.
Train.
Yeah, why not? It's like all these movies just use but for budgeting wise, a cruise ship's the worst choice out of anything.
100%.
They could have rented a plane for nothing and got more than enough and build those sets. This is probably obviously a lot of sets. But I think it was a lot on the cruise. Like they filmed a lot on the deck.
Yeah, 100%.
Where you see everything there.
Yeah. Well, then they saved on the extras because literally there were no extras walking in the background.
They had extras. This budget would have been maybe a lot more. Oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
Oh man, dude. And another funny lady. Not a funny lady. The guy who looks outside, sees the boat, and he flips the open sign to close on his store.
Well, he flipped it. He flipped it to open, and then you're right, and then quickly flipped it to close. It just
and ran out.
But I don't. Would a cruise ship that big on land would it go that far?
I think so. Those things are huge. They weigh so much they would rip through
the momentum.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
because you would have thought that All right. Like, I don't know if they needed to stop the ship. Let's say if instead of them crash again, they could have done something like that. Instead of this silly, like crashing into a city or a town, they could have had them regain control from Geiger, like after he crashed the helicopter.
Or just crash into like a building that's right on shore, like a hotel.
Yeah.
Right there.
Or I'm just saying, if they could crash on land, I wonder, like, again, that's not anticlimactic. If that's the way they needed to stop, it was just them going on like land with like trees and stuff. It'd be like, it wouldn't be as good, but I don't know. There's no way. And then Jean Damon, who did this movie, directed and I think had something to do with the writing, but his idea is the end of this movie. He had a dream. So that is really kind of how this movie stemmed, from him having like some fever dream. And we got Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Do we know why Keanu Reeves is not in the movie?
Oh, he went to go film something else. It wasn't that they didn't want to do it. They wanted to cash in on the first one because it had already been 3 years. And that's when they were like, all right, we'll get in Jason Patrick. Sandra, you can do it, and we'll make Hope Floats, which came out in 98.
So I wonder, was Jason Patrick their first choice after Keanu?
Oh,
like, I wonder,
question.
I wonder, who else were they thinking of? Because I mean, what was Jason Patrick doing at this time? Like, because Lost Boys came out in the 80s, and I know Jason Patrick made a couple movies, but like he wasn't really known as an action star, right? So
Nah.
I wonder, if there were other people ahead of him, and then they offered to him.
Let's see if there's any other people that were offered that role. But yeah, so while I'm looking that up, so at this point, this is where, the guy helps him. He goes in the guy's boat, and then he's, which is that the way? So she is taken onto the plane at this point, right?
Correct. Which again, why does he need her? She's clearly slowing him down multiple times, throughout this whole thing. So wouldn't you just get rid of her? She's like dead weight at this point. Get away. You're lucky at this point. You're going to get away. So why hold on? You don't need her. And especially knowing that he's there to rescue her while he was hanging on to the rope, the harpoon. That's when he should have dumped her out of the plane, because he probably would have stopped to go to her and left you alone.
Yeah. I'm reading this. So the network TV version of this movie, because I think things didn't make sense, which I don't know why they didn't edit this for the main version that people are going to consume for the end of time. But for network TV, they for some reason use the repeating the driver's test in the beginning of the movie and skip that first one, edited that out. And also they added an additional scene that was showing Annie and Alex driving to the port and riding a dinghy to the ship, is where they first meet Geiger. We don't see them meet Geiger there. Annie actually meets him.
There is an end credit scene with her taking the test again with Tim Conway.
There is. That's what I mean. I'm saying the network TV version was we don't have to have two of the driving school bits to be able to save 7 minutes, because they don't really go. I guess they do kind of go with each other. I guess maybe they use a little bit of the beginning, because obviously the first one is when she crashes and meets what's his name. So there must have been something, but nothing about the casting choices that I'm seeing, because a lot of it says he was chosen to replace. So maybe they did just be like, all right, we're going to go. I can't imagine.
What did he make before this? What was so big that he made that he was like, you know what? We're making a sequel to a very big movie. Keanu's a hot star right now. We need something that's going to be close. I don't know. I just feel I don't know what else he's done outside of, like I said, Lost Boys, Rush, and Sleepers.
Yeah. Yeah, here's a little tidbit. So the movie that he went on to do was Devil's Advocate, Keanu Reeves instead of this.
Okay.
But he didn't like the script anyway.
Oh, for
this. Yeah. He was pissed that, and then also he was going to go on tour with his band, and he was pissed at Dogstar.
Oh, Dogstar.
But because they made out of this fake story about him choosing his band over being in the movie, but it was actually taking the other role. And then another thing real quick, Gary Oldman was offered the role of the villain. He turned it down to make Air Force One.
Well, you know what? Gary Oldman, William Dafoe, I mean, they both play really good. Again, I'm not I just think that.
Yeah, but not close. Because Gary Oldman always picks the great movies.
Absolutely.
Because the leads are great in those movies. William Dafoe in a lot of movies, he's great.
Yeah.
Just who he's going against isn't.
Well, I
Up
feel
to
like
snuff.
I feel like William Dafoe is like the Al Pacino, meaning that he's so over the top with his like
Yeah.
character, like where Gary Oldman, like you believe that he's these crazy people. Like I mean, to me between him and John Malkovich, they play the two best bad guys. Like they're just really good. So I looked up Jason Patric. So he made Rush in 1991. Really made Geronimo 93, The Journey of August King. Then he made Sleepers in 1996, which is a big hit. And then the year later, Speed 2. So, but really nothing action-wise. So, like the fact that they picked him, I can't imagine him being the first choice.
Yeah.
And I'm looking like, Narc was a good movie. That was an action movie, but that was 2002. Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to do a little bit more digging in that and see who else, because I can't imagine him being the first choice.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, the fact that Gary Oldman, what a coin flip moment for your life, dude. The Air Force One's awesome. I love that movie.
You know what? He's not stupid. I mean, he's another guy. He really doesn't pick too many bad movies, and he knew what he had.
Yeah. So yeah, the harpoon. We I know you mentioned a little bit before, but he used the harpoon from the boat from the Jaguar in the original movie. Shoots it, and he's able to stick to the stick. He pulls himself over, and then I love the way he gets onto the ship and he like looks at Annie, not like, hey, come on, let's go. He says like, hi, like really his head is in there and Defoe can turn and see him.
So corny, because like they literally paused and she smiled. I think they kissed or something. It was like so stupid. Like it really was like very dumb.
Yeah.
But
he
again,
says like, hey.
But now that should have been like a big climax scene, a lot of action, suspense, and they throughout the movie, every time there's something like that, there's some corny scene that they're trying to throw some comedy in there or whatever, and it breaks it up. Like if you have the end scene of an action movie, it should be nonstop. Like you don't want any pauses in that scene, and they're just constantly doing it. Like so, like really the action. The biggest action was the music. That was the biggest action.
Yeah. And then it's so corny. She dumps like his weapons in that backpack. He's like, oh no.
Yeah.
So then he finally gets the plane off the ground. Like eventually he gets into the air and he's like flying around. And you're like, man, what's going to happen? Like he's in a plane. He doesn't have weapons. Like what is going to be the end? Then he just crashes onto the oil tanker. And then you're like, oh my God, he crashed and he's still alive. We see him. He's alive. No. And then he explodes.
He's like, smiling. He's like, it's just so stupid.
It's just very
so
weird. It was a very
and then the
rushed
entire
ending.
thing exploded. Oh, very rushed ending.
Oh my God, dude! How about the way that exploded?
It
was like that. Obviously, it has to be controlled, but it was insane. Just seeing like boom, 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 boom.
But
and you see
he was so high up. Why would that cause? Like, it's not like he crashed into the boat.
Yeah,
he
that made
into
no
a tower.
sense.
He crashed into a tower, so he was stuck on the tower. So him exploding shouldn't have made anything else explode.
You're 100% correct. That made zero sense. That if him crashing up something, it burst into flames later. But I hope on an oil. Yeah.
I mean, like
I hope oil tankers don't burn that easy.
No,
like if somebody were to like burn popcorn or something.
No. Because you know what? If it is, who would want to work on it? You know, if it's that, yeah. So,
yeah.
Oof.
Oh my God, dude. But yeah, so then then to get away, they have to jump into the water, right?
Well, they dropped the helicopter was carrying like two floaty things on its like
Oh yeah, and they get on one of those.
They got on one of them, so they somehow knew how to release it. I don't know. So stupid.
But all I remember is that I was so checked out at the end of this movie. But when he is like giving her oxygen by like making out.
Yep. He was that's right. She was still handcuffed, so she was sinking. And while she was sinking, I don't know if that works by making out. Like you that's enough.
I don't think so.
That's enough air to bring her back up. So
It was like it's such a tiny amount.
Like they really tried to make this a romantic movie, and there really was like, to me, they had no chemistry whatsoever. And like it just like I don't know. It just felt forced. Like the relationship felt very forced, and it felt like they were really trying too hard to make this a romance movie. It's almost more romance than action. Like it was just, like their relationship throughout the whole movie from, the beginning to end. It's really about that and not like I don't know. It's just stupid. Like in Speed 1, like it was, you could see like there was chemistry, but like really like he was focused on the job and that's it. Like, you know, like it was.
Yeah, but they weren't together yet, so that made sense.
Yeah,
you know,
but you could see the chemistry. Like you could see like
no,
she was
totally,
definitely
yeah.
like. But like here, it's just like it was forced. It was just forced. The movie felt forced. It felt like I was forced to watch 2 hours.
Yeah, well, you were. You were. And then she takes the driving test. We get the same kind of thing. But we do get when she's getting ready to pull out, we see the bus from the first movie.
I know. Do you think that Tim Conway, this was his last movie, like before he died? Like, can you imagine?
No.
Like, he has such a great
he
career.
died 97?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I hope this wasn't his last movie, because if this was his last movie, that's awful.
He lived until 2019.
Yeah, but he wasn't making movies then, was he?
At that point, when he died, he was what? 90?
Oh my gosh, he was that old?
Or 80, 86 he died.
Listen, you got to watch Private Eyes.
I do, yeah.
You have to. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So.
Yeah, no, he was like hosting award shows and
Okay, that's not acting. That's not a movie. Like what did he make any movies after Speed 2? Because again, you don't want to end with Mirror Mirror, right? If your last movie was Mirror Mirror, that's like awful. Like your resume is done. Like, so he has a great career. You don't want the last one to be Speed 2.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know why I didn't pull up his filmography, but let's see. He did voices on SpongeBob until he died. He stopped in 2011.
Okay, so did he make any movies after Speed 2?
Oh, he did SpongeBob. Wait,
he did voices. That doesn't count.
They use his archival stuff for a lot of the stuff. Oh, that's neat, man. That's awesome. They did that. Yeah, cool. So that was Speed 2. Cruise Control, which to me the name is stupid. I know it's on a cruise ship, but Cruise Control is when you go one speed, which is the first movie. Which I know they set it to like 17.6 knots, and that's what it's going at. But it was stupid.
You're also you're not using cruise control on fast, moving fast. It's a more steady pace. So yeah, dumb title.
Exactly. So Jamie, what would you, if they were to make a Speed 3, what would be your choice of vehicle? I know we mentioned a few of them not too long ago, but what would be your choice for the third movie?
Well, I mean, you don't have too many options. I mean, obviously it could be a train. But Seagal did a train and a boat. So,
he did, yeah.
He did. So, I mean, that's kind of like following his footsteps. It's hard.
Yeah.
Maybe an elevator.
The budget would be nothing.
Well, they made a movie called Elevator, didn't they? With the devil?
No, it's called Devil. It was called Devil, right?
But it took place in the elevator.
That is true.
What would you pick? I mean, really
I don't know. I know there's not a million choices, but I don't know. Like the same concept on a plane, would it work? I think the bus is the only thing that really works. Because
I think a train could work too. I think a train
could, but a train's not going to have to hit other vehicles. A train could get stopped, but they're screwed at that point. In that one, at least it's like very Die Hard 3-ish. Is that you have to get to points and there's things things you have to do. On a train, what are they going to do? Dennis Hopper's going to stop the tracks, and then this whole thing's over.
No. I mean, again, the whole thing with Speed is, you can't slow down, you can't use a brake, you have the dodge. I mean, it was constantly moving. Like, and again, that's why, like, even the music, like when you watch, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I'm sure
I might watch it tonight if I can find it for free. I'm going to watch it.
Which, by the way, that's the other thing. This movie is not. It's very difficult to find. Like, yeah, and I know why no one wants to see it. So that's why. It's because I found 3 versions. One was in Chinese, one was in Spanish, and one was in, I think, German. And so
you watched the German one?
Well, I started to, and then I'm like, I can't watch it anymore. So it actually probably would have been a better movie because they sound angry.
It would have been funny, right?
But yeah, I would. Okay, before you ask, I would not recommend this movie. I think, you know what? Just watch the first one. There's really no need to see this one. I don't think it's worth watching. I don't think there's anything good about it. And the first one is just so good that you could just pretend this one didn't exist.
Yeah, like I love Defoe, and he's so crazy. It's so over the top, but like it's almost not over the top enough for the sense of that I would get some kind of like. Agreed. Satisfaction out of it. Agreed. Like when you watch some of these bad movies, like sometimes no matter what, it could be the worst movie, but it could have some redeeming quality, something that we remember, a character, anything. But no, not
and
this
even
one at
his
all.
over the top, he wasn't like evil. He was like nerdy. So like it wasn't like he wasn't like scary. He was just like a nerdy hacker. And that's it. Like, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't threaten anybody. Like, it was just like, I just, again, it wasn't a scary like Tommy Lee Jones, man. He was talking about over the top. He was crazy and Under Siege, Under Siege, right? Like, that's what you want. So yeah. Moving on. We're hitting a lot of strikes. I thought we started going up a little bit with Mission Impossible, and now we're right back down.
I think we're going back up. So the next sequel we're covering is one that I love these movies, and I feel like I love this one better than the original. So that'll be interesting. Nutty Professor II, and for it, I chatted with an actress, Enya Flack. Enya is, man, she was so cool. She had some really awesome credits, but her journey was great because it wasn't like she was thinking about doing this acting. She was working at a male modeling agency. They came to scout for talent to be like, oh, who could be the next like actor or actress on all these shows? Because this is like when you had a lot of the Fresh Prince start coming out, Wayans Brothers, Jamie Foxx. So the guy was like, oh no, how about you? Have you thought about acting? And like within like 72 hours, she booked a spot on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then from there, she was out in California doing her thing. But some cool chats about some of the other jobs she had. She worked on the pilot of Friends. She talked about like the original script, what it said. She worked on Step by Step. So I talked to Patricia about her because they know each other. They have the same manager. So yeah, no, definitely really cool. And she played in the superhero movie that we were going to cover, but it was weird because there wasn't actually a sequel, The Sting of the Black Scorpion. But I would definitely recommend checking it out. Her character in it, her superhero name is Tender Lovin'. So campy, Roger Corman, awesome. So check that out next week, and then we'll have in a couple of weeks Nutty Professor. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast, follow us on all social media at Sequels Only, and don't forget our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.